Hey everyone, thanks for watching. We are going to review Keyword Agent. It is our proprietary, well, AI agent that does keyword research for you. It will save you tons of time. It takes a couple minutes to run a report, but you basically get a executable keyword list to start making content towards for your websites, which is great. It makes it super easy. So I'm going to walk you through how it works and kind of do a demo with the tool, and then hopefully we'll see you sign up for it. But anyways, here's how it works. So once you're logged into your account, you got your dashboard here. Other apps and menu items, as well as like your account and credits and stuff. Here is the interface. Now this tool has two interfaces. Just to be clear, so if you just want to type something in and have the AI just give you like an exported list and just make it quick and easy, you can type in a keyword, you can put in your idea, or you can put the URL of the website that you're kind of making content for. Or you can go into like advanced mode, which in a sense is it uses the same engine for keyword research, but you just kind of get a little more control. So you can select, you can import the keyword. You can select if you want it to be. This option comes in the other ones as well, but you just get in this menu here. And you can kind of choose if you want it to be like focused or wide, which gives you 500 keywords. You notice that local gets you just like 50. This is for a local specific SEO. If you're trying to build a campaign for local services, you would use the local. Wide's kind of going to be more like global topics, blogs, getting an AI or reviews for informational queries, all that good stuff. So yeah, as you can see, there's different amount of keywords for what you're going for. I'm going to do a focused one just so it doesn't take forever to do the report. Understand that, like, when it's pulling all the data for each of these in the keyword list, it can take a couple minutes. And just for the sake of the demo, a short one will kind of give you an idea on how it works. So yeah, so that's this guy here. But to actually run it, we're going to run it on Keyword Agent to show you how easy it is. So here we go. Topic, we're going to just do dog houses for sale. So that's the topic. We're kind of selling that, assuming. I'm just going to hit enter on there. Now the first thing it's going to do is it's just going to kind of do a preliminary check, and then it's going to prompt you for some questions. Oh, cool. Look at this. As I was saying, here's the pop-up. So search type, global search. It's similar to like the wide search on the advanced menu. This is just like you're not going for local queries. There is local search, and that's geared towards, again, local service businesses. You're in a city, location matters. Or maybe you're going for like a mix of both. I'm just going to hit the global one for this particular example. But for country filters, I'm going to select the United States. So cool. So from here, we're just going to hit launch, and it's going to start creating the report. It's going to look for seed keywords. We'll walk you through everything. So we're discovering keywords. Typically, while this is happening, you don't have to wait here. You can go work on some other stuff. You can, work on some other stuff. Check out client stats. Just, it doesn't take too long, but when you're sitting here doing a demo, it feels like forever. Cool. Well, that does that. Let's actually just go look at a list that I have pre-prepared. So this is going to process. It's going to finish. You'll see that there's an option at the bottom that will pop up for you to select the report. I have like a report that is pre-made. That was for best dog houses. This will give you the same kind of idea. So here was the search. So this one was for 500 keywords, but United States created like not too long ago. Here is all the data we get. Seems like a lot. We got 10 pages or 500 keywords worth of data. Let's talk about each of these data points, why they're important. So, keyword, obvious. Intent. Intent's going to tell you like where in the funnel they're at in terms of, if they go to this page, if you're going to throw them in a funnel, what a funnel is important, it just tells you which keywords have more buying intent. Um, and that's kind of important as we try to target from bottom of funnel to top of funnel, trying to capture those people who are looking for what you offer. And so that's what this just does. And it does it by analyzing the search page that shows up on Google. So for example, if I hover over one of these, purchase new 70%, compare options. So on this same SERP, 20% of the options are for just comparing products, and then 10% is for learning and research. But not all of it is new purchase, and so there's kind of like a barrier to that, and this measures that for you. Which, as you're making your keywords, gives you gives you a ability to be powerful with your selection. If you make the right choices, you get to your revenue faster. So, keyword volume, that's pretty obvious. Cost per click, again, that's pretty obvious. That's what people are paying per click. Conversion rate. Now, this is a really cool one. There was a study, and in here, I'll tell you the study names was the Orcas One study. They basically just took keywords, people converting off keywords, came up with a bunch of data, and could kind of say, hey, we know what kind of search phrases build into a converting keyword. The model, I think itself is like a million lines of data points. But the idea is that it can tell you kind of what keywords are going to have the highest chance of converting, or the traffic is converting. So it kind of makes sense. Like if you look at here, 70% of the searches are for buying. So it makes sense that 20% of that being converting traffic kind of falls in line with that. Makes sense. We can look at something like here where dog houses with automatic locks. So this obviously isn't as high as an intent because it's not just based off what this shows. But we can see that it's lower in purchase intent. Reviews and research learning is higher. And so there's some correlation there. So that's what this data point tells you. And then I'll tell you how that adds up to the very end in a second. So EMR, that's estimated monthly revenue. Now, this isn't necessarily to say that you have tons of money or there's exactly this amount of much money to win in this search. It's just that there's definitely money to work here, and it kind of gives you an approximation comparing all the other terms. So we can say that there's more money to be made on this search term than luxury dog sales for sale, just in terms of that. Difficulty is based on how we did the search, on if we did average, niche, if we have a backlink, if we're an expert, all these other factors, including factors of the competition, which this tool looks into, on what would be the easiest keywords to target first. That plays into effect of what our end option is that should we go after this. Now before I skip, we do year-over-year trends in keywords. It basically just, if you click this link, comes from Google Trends. You can click it, you can take a peek, you can see the products on a trend up. It's always nice to kind of know. But then finally we get all these data points: volume, cost per click, conversion rate, intent, difficulty, and we give you a list from 100 down all the way to, well, if we go to page 10, to 0. And that's basically the order in which you should tackle these keywords from. And that's like your shortest path to revenue is going that direction. That's how this is built out. And so normally going through and doing all these manual searches would take hours. This just took a couple minutes. And that's kind of the cool factor about it. The logic that was built in to how this finds keywords isn't just based off search volume. Understands that search volume has its value, where it's nice to know traffic's coming from it, but we do keyword research because we're trying to connect with an audience who has a certain kind of who has certain questions and stuff they're looking at buying that traffic won't necessarily always guide you to. So this agent is built with logic to kind of think about what the audience is looking to buy, what are the semantic, or the audience interested in, what are the semantic relationships between each of the keywords that we can build content for. Like each one of these guys, you won't get cannibalization. There's separate questions that people will ask that you can show up for. So that's this guy here. It's super handy, saves you a lot of time. And what's cool is that as you work through it, You can go through and select your favorites. You can also check mark them as they're finished. So let's say I made this page, it's done. I would select that and lickety split, look, it's done. And I would work through my list and go on there. Once I get and I've worked through all the keywords, assuming I can build through 500, you can add more. So I can type in my seed keyword here, and then I can select if I want a wide, just a single keyword added, or if I want close variations of that keyword as well. This can basically be the work list that I use to build out content. So that's the keyword research tool. Now if we go back and just take a peek at this guy, it's still working through. Again, it's a big job. It's at the analyzing competition spot. But this here, when done, gives you this data point, which is super great. So cool. Let's talk a little bit about the advanced search, just to give you guys one more kind of walkthrough on it. This tool it does the same thing as the actual agent, just with you can kind of control it and click it manually and add in the difficulty options for if you have if you got backlinks on your site, if you're a niche expert, if you're an expert just general on it. You can also add in what we call the 5-year sparkline. This adds 3x's your credits, and what it does is, if we pick a list, let's just say the best doghouse example again, it will give you, instead of you clicking into Google Trends, it gives you the actual line that is on here. So if you're doing lots of these, if you're going through and doing lots of keyword research, you're an agency and you want to be able to check the trends in a topic without having to leave the page a whole bunch and save you time, there is big value in using that, the sparkline. But you don't necessarily have to. It's up to you. This is really if you're doing volumes of work. And then always advanced. If I want to not ever use the wizard, and when I click the agent wizard, want to do search, this will just always bring me to here. So you can just, if you want to not use the UX interface like this. So anyways, so that's Keyword Agent. It's a great tool. The local side of it as well is super dope. It helps pilot your local silos, and the cost of it is not expensive in terms of what your time would be valued at. So any questions, feel free to reach out. We'll be doing more demos on our products and walkthroughs. So coming up will be labs and off-page agent to build Google sites for your website. So thanks again for listening, and any questions you can reach out. Cheers.